open for business? Is the audio where it's supposed to be? Excuse me. Are we good? Are we good on sound? Let me see. No, we are not. No, we are not good on sound. All right. Okay, wait. Oh, we are good. My bad. All right, as long as we good on sound, we good. We good on sound, we good on everything. All right. Pretty Petty Tuesday all up in your area. It's the Daily Go-Getterism Show. I'm your host on 752. Let's get it popping. Last day of the year. Carry, right? My people's crash. This might be the last show of the year. I hope 2025 treated y'all right. I know it's been challenging for some, but tonight, we talking about who I used to look up to. And when I say I don't just mean me. I mean Shoot. I know y'all ain't hit the like button, because one of those likes is mine. It's only 2. And one of them is mine. So you ain't got a lot of me. But this is gonna be a goodie. Yo. And I say Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this your daily. It's the daily go get up show. You think it ain't when it is. You think it won't when it is. We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing. Taking all fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talking about the people that we used to look up to tonight. The people that we used to look up to. You know, when you're a kid, not that you have to only be a kid, but when you're a kid, normally there's somebody that you look up to, somebody that you really admire, somebody who does the things that you would like to do and the things that you think are good to do. Sometimes those people remain the same people that you look up to as an adult, or they may just be the people that you remember looking up to when you were younger. Sometimes there are good reasons that we look up to people, and sometimes there are bad reasons that we look up to people. But I would venture to say that most people who are young, really, really young and impressionable, are influenced by somebody that can do some things that they would like to do in their lives. And they look up to them. Now, the question that I want to ask y'all out the gate, and I know the answer for myself, but I want to see what y'all think about this. Do you think that you can look up to somebody who is the same age as you? Can you look up to a friend that may be younger than you? Can you look up to somebody who is younger than you? If so, how? If not, why not? Maybe I should have made that the poll question, but I wanted something with a little bit meat on it. I just wanted something with So what do y'all think? Out the gate, what's going on, my peoples? T carry right morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site and crash. God clash, crash. God clash, yo, crash. Yo, we won't crash out, but if you front on this, we might rash out. Don't you understand the things that we doing and then not the games that we play? And yo, I'm just saying. There's no delay, and when we get on a ball, everything is gonna be all right. Yo, give me a call now. 267-874-1949. Y'all know I won't leave you behind. Yo, the shine is definitely coming through. I see the bright light and I'm feeling all right now. But yeah, can you look up to somebody who is the same age as you? What do y'all think about that? Can you look up to somebody who is the same age as you, or maybe even younger? Can you look up to somebody? Now we know that you can look up to somebody who's shorter than you, and not this. Looking up to somebody has absolutely nothing to do with height. You know what I mean? But it's funny because when you're small, when you're young, when you don't have a lot of inches and feet on you, Somebody who's tall may definitely have an influence on you, whether they are like a basketball player or your dad or uncle or big brother or something like that. A lot of times, height is very impressionable. It leaves a very impressionable impression on us at a young age. But when you look up to somebody, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are a hero to you. It can simply mean that you have a respect for them and you consider the things that they are doing and the way that they're moving are the things to do, are good things to do and good ways to move. And like I said, sometimes this can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing because we are not always presented with the right people to look up to. But we have to play the cards that we're dealt in life, and we don't all come from the same background. We don't all do the same things. We don't all get taught the same lessons, and we're not all raised by the same teachers or taught by the same teachers. So we gotta do what we got to do, kid. We gotta move how we got to move with it. Make sure y'all hit the like button. This is the Daily Go-Getterism Show. I said, we do this every single day, every day. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. We break it down, baby. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains and the DG will do the same. I'm your host, Son 752, aka Omar with the rrrr. And if you can't say Omar with the rrrr, well then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Daily Go-Getterism Show. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope y'all feeling like real men and women as well. So as you know, allow me to reintroduce, we are talking about the people that I used to look up to. The people I used to look up to. Who comes to your mind immediately when you think of somebody who you used to look up to? Are the people that you used to look up to the same people that you still look up to? Or do you look back on the people that you used to look up to like, yo, why did I ever look up to them? Why did I ever admire them? Why did I ever respect them? And it's sad when it has to totally switch. Because looking up to somebody doesn't mean that you are totally infatuated, obsessed, or you're not necessarily totally enamored with them. It can just mean that, hey, the respect is there. And they putting in good work out here. Work that I would like to see done. Work that I think other people should do as well. So it could be, like I said, it should be your mama and your daddy first. Those are my thoughts. I'm thinking that it should probably be your mama and your daddy first. But is it always? No. Maybe it could be your big brother, your big sisters. A lot of times the person early in your life that you look up to is somebody who gives you knowledge and wisdom or protection. Somebody who looks out for you. Somebody who shows you the way. They teach you things. They put you on. They put you up on a scoop. They show you how to handle yourself. They might show you how to talk, how to walk, how to act, how to keep the monkeys off your back. Keep the bad guys out of your circle. That might be somebody you look up to. That's why when I was asking you, can you look up to somebody? Do you think you can look up to somebody the same age as you? Well, somebody who's the same age as you might show you how to fight, or they might show you how to protect yourself. Not necessarily, duking it out, but they might show you how to do your homework. Or that'll keep you out of fights with your teachers. Not a fist fight with your teachers. Hopefully, none of us are getting into no craziness like that. But somebody who shows you how to stay out of trouble might be somebody who you look up to. Somehow that makes a lot of sense to me. Somehow that makes a lot of sense to me. But that's what we're talking about tonight. The people I used to look up to. And when I say the people I used to look up to, I'm talking about the people I used to look up to. I'm talking about the people you used to look up to. I'm talking about the people that we used to look up to. I'm talking about the people that they used to look up to. I'm talking about anybody who used to look up to. Now, eventually, we're going to have to get into what it means to look up to somebody, because that might have different meanings than what I'm talking about. And we may have different meanings from each other individually. But I think that we can probably agree collectively that looking up to somebody is normally somebody that we think is pretty dope. Now, think about the people that you thought was dope when you was a kid. I'm talking about from like when you started noticing people were dope, 3, 4 years old. Maybe you started seeing how dope people were at 2 or 3 years old. I don't know. You know what I mean? As long as they ain't put their hands on you, scare you, or make you feel bad. They might have, been a good guy to you. My man, Jason Sloan is all up in the house. My man, Jason Sloan. Make it on his own. Come to think of it, Jay, I think I've looked up to you. And you're younger than me. So I know it's possible for myself, but I know for a fact that I've looked up to you before because I've always respected your intellect and things like that. So, boom, and your talent level. You got a lot of talent. So, yeah, for me, yeah, I can definitely look up to somebody who's the same age as me, or maybe even younger than me. I mean, if you're dope, you're dope. You know what I'm saying? If you got it going on, you got it going on. But when we start talking about looking, let me put my hardware away, because I'm ready to talk about this. I'm ready to talk. I'm in the mood now. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the mood now, son. Get the conversation popping and shit. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, hashtag, I mean? Hashtag, I mean? But yeah, I want to make sure I hammer home exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about looking up to somebody. You're not physically looking up to anybody. What you are doing is acknowledging the respect level, the admiration level that you have for somebody. And you think that the things that they are doing, the way that they move, maybe even the way that they think is a good way and a good example for other people. That's when you look up this, like when you take into consideration what somebody else would do in a situation that you are in, more than likely you look up to them. It doesn't have to do with anything like being on somebody's dick or, clout chasing or anything like that. I mean, that's a form of looking up to somebody too. But the reason why I started talking about the people that you used to look up to when you were a child, starting at that young foundation, is because more than likely, and y'all can correct me or dispute me if y'all feel like I'm wrong, because I might be. But more than likely, you did not look up to somebody when you were a very young child because they had money. It wasn't about all of that. You might have looked up to somebody because they could hang jump from a building three stories up. Like, dang! Or because they could climb a tree. Or because they could run faster than everybody else, or because they could fight. And they was willing to show you how to, keep all of that, bob and weave, learn how to hit a moving target and learn how to move you as a target so people who haven't been trained to do that shit can't hit you. But yeah, it rarely had anything to do with money. When you're a child, you're not obsessed with money. You might want things that money can buy, but the money itself, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. So a lot of times when we're kids, we admire people and look up to people because of their physical attributes, the things that we can see them do. The things that we can see them do. You know what I always wondered? And some of y'all might know something about this. When a child is born through lawyers, like let's say your dad or your mom or both of them, because I've known situations where lawyers married another lawyer, where your parent or parents are lawyers. Do you understand what your parents do for a living? Because we know what a doctor does. We know what a policeman does. We know what a fireman does. We know what a welder does, a teacher. We know what certain jobs do. With a lawyer, adults don't even know what the fuck they do. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of adults don't know what lawyers do. So how can we expect a child to understand what a lawyer does for a living? So if you are the child of a lawyer, you may look up to your lawyer parents, but probably not because they're a lawyer, but because of the way that they parent you, the things that they give to you, the way that they show you things. You may definitely admire, their leadership abilities and their structure, their intellect, their ability to teach you things. Because if you're a lawyer, you should at least be smart. I know what y'all thinking. Like, I know some lawyers that was dumb as shit. That's why they had to stop practicing. I get it. But more than likely, just to pass the bar exam, your intellect level is probably a lot higher than the average person in society. Damn, Jay, good looking. He says, ditto, definitely looked up to you in some ways. Yeah, I could dig it. That's what's up. But yeah, so, but looking up to a person, especially as a child, we are probably grading on a different kind of curve as a child. So think about the people you looked up to as a child and whether you still look up to those same people. And that's whether they are dead or alive, because you can still look up to a person that is no longer with us. And a lot of times we look up to people who definitely aren't with us. Look at all the people who look up to Tupac and Biggie. Now, but think about the reasons that they look up to them. Think about the reasons that they look up to them. Always smile, giggle, laugh, chuckle when I hear Gen Z and Gen Alpha kids talk about how great Tupac was or Biggie, and I'm like, normally is Tupac. It's not normally Biggie. Real shit. And I be thinking to myself like, ain't this some shit? But you have to also consider, and I know I have to take this into consideration. Think about the reasons that they think that they look up to a Tupac. Think about who has shown them who Tupac is and what he was about and how he moved. Think about it. Because more than likely they are the child of a millennial or could be the child of a Gen Xer. Could be. It's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. The millennials, they all pushing 40. They are all pushing 40, yo. You know what I mean? It's about to be a wrap. It's a wrap. So, Lady Virgo? What up, Lady Virgo? What's good? Lady Virgo, the Virgin. You know what I mean? What's your name? What's your zodiac sign? Carrie Wright, Carrie Wright, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peepers going directly into your site. Says most adults don't even know the difference between a lawyer and an attorney. That's true. That's true. Even with Google, even with all of the resources, but that would explain that would explain the confusion about a whole lot of professions. But yeah, now I know a certain female who married a lawyer, and she claims that her son knows exactly what her husband does as a lawyer, and he's like 6. I was like, okay, all right. I know motherfuckers that's 60 who don't know. Okay, he might be a super kid, or maybe y'all drilled it into him. You know, I mean, most people. I mean, law is a whole different language than English. You know, they got to learn all that Latin. And then there's a straight up law language that we common folk don't have privy to, and we just don't know shit about it. It's all good, though. It's all good. He might be a super kid. You know, one thing is for sure. Whenever you start saying like, yo, dude is... The little kid is only 2 years old. Why would you expect him or her to be able to read? You can best believe that somebody's gonna come along and be like, yo, my kids was reading at 1.5 years. Yeah, they was reading at 1.5 years. I brought them out with the books. We cut the umbilical cord and put the baby on the book, and it's been reading ever since then. I was giving them phonetics. When my baby first learned how to talk, when they said mama and dad, I was like, okay, how you spell that? And, you know, I had them sounding out mama and dad. I had them pointing to. All right. Okay. So what we gonna do? What we gonna do? We gonna have this conversation tonight. The people I used to look up to. The people I used to look up to. All right, so I'm gonna go get my seat over here. And then we gonna start talking. You know what I'm saying? Me and you and we and us. You know what I'm saying? What's good? What's up, my people? What's up? How y'all feeling? Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. We good? This might be the last show of the year. I'm not sure if we're going to rock out tomorrow night. You know, I don't know. New Year's Eve going into New Year's Day, but I don't know. You know, after the ball drop, if y'all in the, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because I'll have to probably come home, because I normally spend New Year's Eve over my mom's crib, because, you know, she live by herself or whatever, you know. I don't know. There's certain things. Yeah, I don't go nowhere. I don't drink or smoke or watch the ball drop or give a shit about none of that. Normally, you know. Anyway, y'all let me know. If y'all think it's good to have a show tomorrow night. And if you said go live with your mom for 30 minutes, nah, we ain't doing all that. I mean, nah, I doubt it. I doubt it. But yeah, something could be worked out. It might be. But one thing is for sure, I have your vote. Bet. Bet. You know, I have a mental block. I'm like, look, I ain't going live for no 30 minutes. Look, I tried it before. You know what I mean? My 30 minutes couldn't even be limited to 30 minutes. Like if I can't talk for 45 to an hour, like forget it. Like I can't. I get a mental block. Talk won't let me wait. My people's Jeff Sprayberry is all up in the house. What's good? What up? How you feeling? All right, y'all. So let's get it popping. The people I used to look up to. So, let me ask y'all this. Earlier in the show, I was asking, can you look up to somebody who is the same age as you or younger? And I want to know from y'all. I already know from Jason, but for everybody else, Just let me know in the comments. Have you ever looked up to somebody that was the same age as you? If you want to go into the reasons why, I mean, feel free to do that. But you don't have to. You don't have to. But yeah, that is the question. Do you think you could look up to somebody the same age as you, or even younger? Carrie says, yes, my people prepusi, yo. Whoa, 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 whoa. And the reason that I have to ask if you can look up to somebody the same age as you or younger is because sometimes our ego kicks in. And we don't think that you should look up to somebody who's the same age as you. Like, yeah, I bleed just, he bleeds just like me. Yeah, we all bleed. But that's only if somebody cuts us or we suffer a really bad injury. Other than that, we stay intact together. All the blood in the veins, under the skin, subcutaneously, under the dermis. So, sometimes to admit to yourself that you look up to somebody, you have to put your pride to the side. You may not think that it's a big deal. In a family, this can cause a little confusion. Like, imagine a middle or an older brother looking up to the younger brother. But it happens. It happens. Shoot, sometimes baby brother can do some shit that older brother couldn't do. And not only that, let's say it's a situation where older brother was a ne'er-do-well. Maybe he had some trouble. He had some trouble in his life. And, he couldn't stay right. Maybe he was in and out of jail, couldn't shake off that follower mentality. And those following types of qualities that he had led to his detriment in the legal system. So he was always in jail. And maybe baby brother was always trying to get him to straighten up and straighten out. You know what I mean? Maybe baby brother was supporting him. Maybe baby brother was always giving him the good word. Like, come on, big brother, you know what I mean? Maybe baby brother looked up to big brother in such a way that it made big brother see the good in himself. And for that reason, he looked up to his baby brother. Because maybe his baby brother helped big brother to discover himself. You know what I'm saying? Carrie says, I definitely looked up to my cousin. He was fearless and youthful and spontaneous. So would you do the same things that your cousin did? Or did you just admire his ability to do what he did? Like, he could have been a spectacle. Like, look at him go. Like, this is something else. Because you could very well want your sons to be something like that. Like, I would want that quality that my cousin had in my sons. Maybe not everything that my cousins did, but definitely more things than not. It's understandable to me. Jeff said, when I was young, my dad wasn't around. A lot of my older brothers, my dad wasn't around a lot. My older brother, Jerry, was someone that I looked up to and stepped up to be the role model. I totally feel you on that. Jeff. And a lot of people looked up to they older brothers. And sometimes if you have more older brothers than just your oldest brother, you may have a variety of brothers to look up to. Think about the Jackson family. I always wondered, because Michael always seemed like, Michael wasn't the youngest, and but you could argue that Michael was the most talented and definitely the most outgoing. I don't think we can deny that. But I always wondered if Michael looked up to any of his big brothers, because that wasn't obvious. You know what I mean? I don't know if he ever gave any interviews where he was asked that, and maybe he gave the the answer or whatever, or if he expounded on it and talked about it. I don't know. Maybe y'all know more than that. Look, he said German Shepherd nosehead. Damn, son. Well, I'm gonna let you know something. Since you called me a German Shepherd nosehead, I went to the dentist today, and I got my front teeth fixed. Cause I had a chip. Y'all probably didn't notice. Maybe some of y'all did. But I got my feeling. My front teeth is normal. You know what I mean? I'm feeling, I was smile on y'all tonight. So I don't care if you call me a German Shepherd nose head ad nigga. I don't care. You know what I mean? I got my teeth fixed. I bet you didn't. Snaggle too fast, nigga. Fuck you. But anyway, so yeah, Papucio, like, I wonder if Michael Jackson ever looked up to any of his brothers. I mean, he probably recognized his talent over everybody else, but that doesn't mean that he didn't look up to somebody. There were clearly other musicians that he looked up to, like a James Brown, like a Little Richard, because he took certain things from them. But I wonder if he looked up to a Tito. May he rest in peace, Tito. Or Jackie. Maybe even Jermaine. I don't know. But I wonder. And you look at some of those other family musical groups like the Osmonds. Did Donny Osmond look up to one of them 9 motherfuckers? Did Marie Osmond look up to her older brothers? Like, I can't answer these questions, you know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking in a family dynamic, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. Why not? I know for a fact, getting back to the Jackson family, I know for a fact that Janet looked up to Michael. No question about it. No question about that. Janet absolutely looked up to Michael. But I wonder if Michael looked up to Tito or Jackie or Jermaine or... It was Tito, Jackie, Jermaine, Michael. Who was the fifth? Who was the fifth? Yeah, LaToya, I don't know if she looked up to Michael Jackson or any of them. I think she was older than Michael, though. Marlon, thank you. I'm sorry about that, Mar. Couldn't remember. Thank you. Thanks for being a Jackson 5 enthusiast. You know what I'm saying? They were a hell of a group. All right, Papucio says Jermaine was always trying to wear the crowd. I ain't gonna lie. In the Jackson 5, I like Jermaine better than Michael. But only because I felt like Jermaine had the more funkier, soulful parts. I always felt like Michael Jackson was more of the pop icon of the group.
You have a call from
my man Trezoy is all up in the place. What's going on, my dude? How you feeling?
Well, I'm all in the place with style and grace, and if you're looking at a handsome face, let me hear you say, ow.
Ow.
Say, ow.
Ow.
Oh, boys, make some noise. Let me hear you say, ho.
Ho. I'm definitely grooving with this. I ain't never said ow a day in my life. He made me say ow. Damn.
Yes, you did.
Them trolls gonna fuck. Look.
You said ow on your short when you was like, help them out. Ow.
That was ouch. ow, like ouch. You know what I mean? Like, not ow, like all the ladies say ow, but fuck it. You know what I mean? Trolls gonna get on me tonight. Like, I knew it. I knew it. He said ow. Hold on, Jeff Sprayberry said, did I chip it chewing on Cowboys? No, that's how I broke my tooth in the back.
Damn, what's going on, Bawana?
My man Buana Haguski in the house.
You know, the family.
No
It's
doubt.
always good. It's always good to indulge with the family business, man. In the business that's family.
Without a doubt, diggity, diggity doubt. So, we talking about the people I used to look up to.
Before you say anything, right? I want everybody in the chat to invest that looking at son's shorts, and make sure you tap into the like button on those shorts, man, because they be funny as hell and very, very, very intelligently brought to us.
Yo, I appreciate that. Yeah, check out the shorts when y'all get a chance.
Check out the shorts. You gotta check out the shorts, man.
Yeah, I mean.
You know what I mean? Because I mean, you also gotta check out the wardrobe in the shorts because it be style and profiling.
It's the same thing I wear over here.
I'm just saying that. I'm just trying to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, Jeff, what's going on, Jeff?
Good looking out, though.
You pretty much, I talk to you all the time about who I looked up to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there might have been more people that you looked up
There's
to.
always gonna be more people.
Well, let me ask you this before we get into anything. Have you ever looked up to somebody your own age or younger?
I'm on the phone with them now.
Well, damn.
I look up to you, bro.
Damn, man.
When I first started doing comedy, and I needed somebody to really take me by the hand and guide me through the treacherous water of comedy, you did it. You know what I mean? You better stop. You were an idiot, bro. You know, you did it. You didn't have to be the person that you are. And, you know, help me out, be there for me. Go ahead, wipe the go by. I know what you mean, man. I feel the same way, bro. The only thing you gotta say down is, okay.
Go ahead, Rip.
Yeah, but I'm on the phone with him now, man. I look up to you. I respect the journey that you did through all these years of being a Philly legend and doing the podcasting. Because people in Philly don't understand that before everybody went on board to do a podcast here in Philly, you were already doing it, and people was laughing at you. They were laughing at like, this motherfucker doing.
Yeah.
And then you
imagine.
continuously done it and perfected it, and look at you now. You know what I mean? So I mean, at the end of the day, you guided me through the treacherous water of comedy. Hopefully one day when I get a live stream or podcast, you guide me through that. You know, and every day I go, and every day I see myself go through a trial and tribulation. God throws his fishing rod in the water to reel you in to call my phone.
I hear that.
You know
I
what
hear
mean?
that. Yeah, no doubt.
So at the end of the day, you have to always sit back and say to yourself, you're 55, I'm 55, we're 70s babies, bro. So yes, I do look up to you as a person in my generation that I can look up to. You know, so
Yeah.
very very much appreciated and love doing that, bro.
Well, you know, Troy. Well, I was talking about when we were younger, and sometimes people discount the effect that friends have on you when you're younger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the way things now are now for a lot of people, you know, independence is highlighted with so many people and all that kind of shit, and people don't really realize until they are forced to realize that you can't raise yourself or live in a vacuum. You have to have interaction with certain people in order to get you through, because you're not going to learn anything when you're all by yourself. You're not going to learn how to navigate your way through this world. So, you know, when you have like a good friend, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a friend of yours, you know, you might look up to the smartest guy in the class. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, I really wish I could, grasp the material in class like he does. You know what I'm saying? Even if you consider him to be a nerd, that doesn't mean that you couldn't have looked up to him, because you may have admired his discipline or her discipline. You know what I mean? And so there may be a lot of people that you may have looked up to over the years. So when we ask, like what the poll question asked, are the same people that you looked up to when you were younger the same people that you look up to now? That's acknowledging the changes that can take place in those people that you looked up to and in yourself, where you may not find it feasible or necessary to look up to those people anymore, depending on how you look up to, how you, or what you consider looking up to somebody to be.
Right.
So, yeah, man,
Yeah, because I can like it's but it's several people I can sit back I looked up to as a kid. My grandfather, who was like pretty much my father. I was just thinking about my grandfather today, because I was thinking like, damn, I thought about the last time I seen him in the hospital. And he was moving around like there was nothing wrong with him, knowing there was something wrong with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he didn't want me to hurt so bad, that knowing that he wasn't going to be here with me anymore. So he didn't divulge any of the illness he was going through. He had cirrhosis of the liver. And I'm like, but then a part of me is like, why would you be that selfish and not allow me to love on you before you left? You know what I'm saying? But he has, one thing about, I always ask myself, why haven't any of my ancestors visit me? And I came to a realization of it, son, is when they taught you so much, they're in you. So the visit don't have to come until you really, really need them. They didn't taught you so much that you see yourself quoting them and always talking about them and always understanding what not to do, because they didn't taught you so much.
Yeah.
So the people that you looked up to, even if it's your ancestors that's going on to glory, they're inside you. Their spirit, their knowledge, their wisdom, and everything. There's so much of it in you that you follow within your walk that they don't have to come until you need them deeply.
Well,
so my grandfather, I looked up to because he taught me in the years, only let me see, because I met my grandfather when I think I was 7, or it might have been 8 years old. 7, 8 years old, I met my grandfather. And when I met him and my grandmother, this was not my maternal grandmother. He taught me so much, man. I know one thing, he taught me not to do this.
What was that?
Suck my teeth inside.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, he taught me not to do that the hard way.
Well, I said, yeah, you actually shouldn't do that.
Yeah. And it was the original BTA. He was the original on that.
Okay. Okay. Hey.
I'm talking about boot the ass. I'm talking about belt the ass.
Right. I understand where the B is coming from. What it stands for.
But yeah, man, I mean, it's so many people in your journey of life that you look up to.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man. To look up to. The only part is the ones that some people that you look up to, it hurts you when they don't respect how you look up to them, because they don't look up to you the same way.
Yeah. Well.
And that's the part that hurts sometimes.
Well, do you think that somebody looking back up to you is a requirement?
No, but I do think that the respect that you deserve is a requirement.
Well, all right. So hold on. Let's dissect this a little bit.
Okay. All right.
So we can definitely nail down what looking up to somebody means to us individually. Now, when I talk about looking up to somebody, I'm talking about that person does things that I think are good, that I think are a good example for other people, and they are things that I would do or would like to do, you know. And I'm normally thinking that when I look up to somebody, they're normally consistent at what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not wishy-washy with it. They're not moody with it. They're not only doing it when, I don't know, when it feels like a certain type of way, but they I might look up to them because regardless of whether I want to do what they do, I may admire that they are serious about what they do, consistent in what they do, and passionate. You know what I mean? So I might, those might be qualities that I would like in myself, even if I want to do something else with them besides what they're doing. But they might have a good foundation of what I think is good, and that might be why I look up to them. I think that when you look up to a person, you normally like them, but I'm not so sure if that's a requirement. It might be for most people, but that's what I'm talking about when I say that I look up to somebody. Now you may look at it in a different way, like for example, like I don't necessarily expect somebody to look up to me because I look up to them because they may be so much older than me or whatever that I looked up to them for a certain type of reason. You know what I mean? So I can't expect them to necessarily look up to me because they might be tutoring me. They may be teaching me. They may be setting the example for me. They may be leading me. You know what I mean? So looking up to me might not be what they describe their feelings towards me to be. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, all right, like one person I looked up to when I was younger was my god brother, because he took me everywhere and he showed me things and he was cool. You know what I mean? And to me, he was the greatest thing. And when I think back on it, I mean, to his friends, to his peers, he was probably just a regular dude. You know what I'm saying? But to me, he was everything because he was what I needed at the time, and he was pretty consistent at it. He didn't shrug me off or whatever, but also found out some things about him along the way that put a stain on me being able to look up to him to this day. You know what I'm saying? But I remember how much I looked up to him back then. But the funny thing is, I looked up to him, but I don't remember wanting to be like him. I looked up to my dad and wanted to be like him, but not necessarily do what he did. You know what I'm saying? As far as a career choice, I didn't really want to do what my dad did as far as a career is concerned, but I definitely wanted to be like him as a man. You know what I'm saying? Right. But yeah, my god brother, it's funny because, to this day, I don't look up to him anymore. But I fondly remember looking up to him then. It's like, there's so much more to this than I can get into today. You know what I mean? But I look fondly on the memories. I don't have I can't believe I looked up to this motherfucker. I don't feel that way. I just feel like, because he held it down, you know what I mean? At the time. But he was human like everybody else, and he did some human shit. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, humans have flaws, and he did some flawed shit, and I see it. And it's like, yeah. So yeah, I can't look up to you anymore, but in the 70s it was on, and when it was on, it was on. So what would you describe what is your criteria for looking up to somebody?
Well, mine is somewhat the same thing that you're saying. You know, it has to be on a positive level, because you can have people have people follow the negative. People look up people in a negative way and follow their path. Like, you know, we all know young boys that seen drug dealers selling drugs and wanted to do that and followed them and looked up to them. We all seen that, you know. But I'm going to, like you said, your God brother, I'm going to say my middle brother, the one that's the pastor, you know. And I looked up to him, and I looked up to him a lot. I'm talking about overprotective of him, to the point where I looked at myself and felt like I wasn't worthy of being in the same position as him, because I looked up. I was so protective of him. He knew how to draw real good. He went to performing arts. I didn't want nobody. Never wanted him to get in a fight, so I would jump. If something was to go down, I would jump in a fight with him and try my best to do what I got to do. And, you know, anybody argue with him, I would argue with him. If he was playing basketball and I was sitting there watching him play, I was hoping and praying he did well.
Yeah.
You know, so
I know exactly what you mean. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You know, turn back around, and he taught me. He got the brown and black ebony, Black history books out. Sat me down. We went through them. You know, he told me I learned a lot from him.
Black ebony. God.
Remember the brown and black ebony book? Yeah. He still got them. To this day. You know, and the thing about it is that it has nothing to do with me not, you know, looking up to him still, and me not loving him still. Mm-hmm. But there's a respect level that has to come behind that.
Okay. And when a person can sit back, like I can sit on this phone and I can say as many positive things about Son 752, and I know you know that they're right, and you know I know I'm being genuine with you. And you will sit back and be like, yo, I appreciate that. And I know genuinely you mean that from your heart. Mm. I can say everything I say back to him in a positive way, and it's not, I will never hear, thank you, I appreciate that. Mm. Like, if I'm telling you this from my heart, you figure, damn, I never knew I had that much interest from my little brother coming up. You would appreciate that. Mm-hmm. You know, but it doesn't feel like an appreciation. You know, it just feels like, well, it's just him talking. Okay. You know, and then then when it gets to the point where certain situations come about and I'm appreciating your walk because you're a pastor. Now I'm overprotective of you because I don't want you to mess your walk up. I don't want you getting disrespectful and saying something out your mouth that people can hold against you. So what I say is, you don't say nothing, I say it. I'm your alter ego. Mm-hmm. I'm your profanities. I'm your cursing people out. Just pray for me on the back end, man. Because I don't want you to mess up your walk. But at the end of the day, if I'm that type of person, you don't look at me as, what do you look at me as then? Because okay, wait.
The
you're
backlash. I hope I'm not getting.
No. So I'm asking you. Are you saying that you don't look up to your big brother no more?
I don't. I have minimum. It's not that I don't look up to him no more. It's to the point where I'm losing the love for him. I'm losing the love for him, son.
Well, that's worse than not looking up.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's not even looking up to him no more. I'm losing the love for him because it's like this, right? If you're a pastor, and I understand pastors are human too, but there's in Genesis, I forgot what chapter it is. I discussed this with you the other day, when we wasn't on the chat. And then even in the movie New Jack City, what's the favorite? If you remember anything, you remember the line.
Yeah.
And my brother's keeper.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And what comes with that, and I'm not trying to get off topic, what happened was Cain and Abel went out, and this is when Cain killed Abel. And when he came back, God asked Cain, "Where's your brother Abel?" And Cain responded, "Am I my brother's keeper?" And what did God say? "Yes, you are." And if you can't follow that, but you can follow that with your congregation and your sick and shut in and your hospice care people and the people that's in the hospital, but you can't follow that with your brother, then you're a hypocrite.
Mm.
So therefore, and it's not just the first time, it's numerous times that I have to put you and say things to you that I shouldn't have to say to a person that's older than me, and I'm the baby. Just like your daughter's, I don't care if your daughter turned 50, 60, that's going to always be your baby. We always going to have, our children is always going to be our children, our babies. I'm always going to be the little brother.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't conduct me you can't walk around and under no circumstances, don't judge me by being a little brother in the lineup, because I'm 55 now. I'm a grown little brother. But you have to respect me and have an understanding that the feelings that I got are genuine. I'm a genuine person. I love art. And I respect the stuff that you did for me in my life. But don't disrespect me by not understanding what you're not doing, what you're doing to harm me now in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So that takes away from everything. It's to the point where there's no need for me to even conversate with you no more. I don't want to talk to you until you have an understanding of the person I am and the person that you fucking with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't like phony, corny individuals. And I'm gonna say the word that I hate to say, and I told you I don't hate corny niggas. I don't like them. So if I look up to you, right, and I'm putting you on a pedestal of looking up to you, don't look down on me. Especially when I'm down. You're supposed to be an uplifter. You're supposed to be a person that when you call my phone and you hear my voice, you can detect what's wrong with you. You're my fucking brother more than my brother. I can get on the phone with you now. Yo, what's going on? Yo, what's going on, Troy? No, son, yo, bro. I hear it in your voice, man. How the fuck you know that? Yeah, he don't. Because you're not genuine. You're not genuine. And that's what takes it. That could take away, that could take away from any respect and any love from the person that you looked up to. It's just like if you, like my older brother, I looked up to my older brother when I was young. I played football because he played football. Mm-hmm. Even though this bastard never taught me shit. He never taught me, gave me nothing. He used to take me and my little brother to our doctor's appointment. There's a place called The Rebound down on Broad and Catherine. McDonald's was on Broad and Carpenter. He used to walk almost 3 blocks ahead of us, yelling at us. Not really, he got damn near grown man teenager steps, so we got baby steps. So he walking faster. He used to go to McDonald's, buy 5 cheeseburgers. He didn't even give us one to split. That's how petty this nigga was. And I still looked up to him. Still love him.
Well, see, that's a lot of that's the difference between the way that you look up to a person when you're younger and And when you become older and more mature,
your perspective changes.
yeah, because you learn more, and plus you growing.
And you know what else? And you know what else I learned from him, son? And what hurted me, one of the things that hurted me the most was when I went in the basement to put my clothes in the dryer, and he was in the basement with one of his boys smoking crack.
That's not respectable.
And I'm thinking that when he saw me, he would be in shock, and he was in shock because I seen his eyes open up wide. He never came and talked to me about it. But I thought that, damn, he seen his little brother see him smoke crack. Maybe it would stop him. Well, and I didn't find out until after my mom passed away that, I didn't find out for years until my mom was going through what she was going through, that my mom was covering up for him, saying that he was locked up for tickets and child support. Really, he was in a rehab. So there's so much shit.
Hold on. We got a troll on the other line. Hold on.
Okay.
You have a call from
Caller with the anonymous number. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, son, it's Perpucio.
Oh, okay, it's not a troll. Okay, I got you. I don't
know, brother. I don't know how to like work the phones or whatever.
No, it's all right. 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 You know what I mean? I thought I was gonna have to shoot the arrow through you, but you good.
You know what? Hey, there's a lot of arrows in it. You know.
I hear that.
I don't know.
Troy, that's Prepucio on the line.
Who is it?
Prepucio Sanchez.
Yo, what's going on, Prepucio?
How you doing, brother?
I can't complain, Poppy. I can't complain.
I didn't want to cut off the other brother, but I just wanted to jump in just because, I don't know, it was like, hey, maybe he didn't answer or whatever. I don't know. Like, hey, it's good to talk to you, brother Sam. Where's that? Saludos. I turned off the YouTube. I was like, I think like, cause like, I think like, I feel like if you have the YouTube on, like, you might get like the reverb or whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just cut that off. But hey, I just wanted to call and say, what's up, brother son?
What's up, man? But why have you on the line? So what's your take on the subject? Like, have you, who did you look up to when you were younger versus now? Do you still look up to the same people as when you were younger? Do you look up to them now?
I mean, I don't think so, brother. Like, I had a cousin, right? And like, I looked up because like I was like always the oldest in my family, right? And but I had this one cousin. He was like an adopted cousin, but he's still a cousin. He's a cousin. And I kind of looked up to him, but I don't know, man. Like, I mean, if you were talking about the Jacksons earlier and stuff like that, like with we were talking about all the older Jackson brothers and all that,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I looked up to my papa, which is, that's my grandfather, like my papa.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a good question, man.
So you looked up to your papa. All right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, did you look up to your dad because he was your dad, or did he exemplify certain qualities that you just thought were good?
Well, when I say papa, it's like my abuelo, like my grandpa.
Your abuela, your abuelo.
Like, yeah.
Your abuelo. Okay, yeah. Cool.
Yeah. He was very interesting guy. He was I am like a mixed So I'm Caucasian, I'm Latino, I'm Indian, I'm a lot of things, right? And
Right.
he was like in the mountain. He was like a mountain guy, like a mountain white guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was just real. And you know, he I don't know, like you know, my parents had me very young, so it's very common for people if you have your parents if you are born very young, like your grandparents are like you know the ones who raised you, or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, that is
Yeah,
very
yeah,
common.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I don't know.
So he was sort of like your he raised you sort of like your father. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He put the guns in my hand, you know, and like and he was a hunter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he just I was like a member of the NRA when I was a junior kid or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was like
A card carrying member of the NRA as a kid, huh?
yeah. When I was you know.
You little terrorist.
Yes, I
You
know.
little terrorist. Damn school, you damn school shooter.
Hey, don't call ICE. Don't call ICE. I got papers.
Oh my God. You know what I mean? All right, let me ask both of y'all this. Let me ask both of y'all this.
And shout out to the chat because
Without a doubt.
yeah.
Good looking out, y'all.
Go ahead. Sorry, brother.
Do you think, or have you ever looked up to somebody that you really didn't know? Because a lot of people look up to celebrities. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and for what it's worth, sometimes a celebrity or somebody like that might exemplify qualities that, you know, you think are really good. And and the thing about celebrities is that, well, we've seen enough of them fall from grace. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just like I think Buana Haguski in the chat, he was talking about how he really looked up to Bill Cosby back in the day. Now he may still look up to Bill Cosby to this day. You know I do.
That's a hard one.
But you understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you looked up to them because of what their portrayal was in the media, and then the media also may have been the cause of you not looking up to them anymore. You know what I'm saying?
You know, Felicia, and by the way, her name is Felicia. If you call her Felicia, she's gonna get pissed off. Her name is Felicia. Okay, she was always like she was like, kind of like up until a certain point for him, and I don't know, man. Like I wasn't there, you weren't there. You know, we don't know what happened. But I mean, I don't know. I mean,
no, I'm just asking you. Have you ever looked up to somebody that you didn't really know?
Oh, probably.
Probably.
You know, I'm trying to think of somebody like I don't know, brother. Like I like when I was little, I think probably I would think like Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Like
okay.
And like he went through like a
lot. How about that?
Social media drama when like Robin was like on.
Yeah.
She was on
Robin Givens.
You know what I'm saying? And she was like, you know, like the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think maybe that, I guess, is probably what I would probably. Yeah.
Well, I looked up to, you know, and when you look up to people, you might not have a belief in everything that they got, but you take bits and pieces from words that they would say. Like when you listen to Malcolm X, I looked up to Malcolm.
Okay.
I looked up to Malcolm for certain things he would say, by any means necessary. I looked up to his way of, I'm not going to regardless of how, I'm non-violent against people that are non-violent against me. But if you violent against me, I'm going to be violent against you. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. But then when you go to Martin, I believe in judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. So I follow them beliefs. So I look up to them because of certain beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I still, even though, there's certain people that I looked up to, and then and then when you realize the shit that they've done, you have to you have to still look up to them according to what they've done before you found out they're far from grace. You respect some of it, but you can't condone the disrespect and their ignorance. Like with Bill Cosby, like with Bill Cosby, I looked up to Bill Cosby, but I can't condone some of his ignorance, even though we know that the media propagandized that. Even with R. Kelly, you can love all his music you want, but you can't condone that ignorance. And you can look up to him because he was one of the most prolific songwriters we've had of a generation.
Mm-hmm. See, here's the thing.
Hey, golden showers don't always bring make flowers.
Lord. Oh my God.
Welcome to the phone call.
Man, God damn. We all punched our ticket to hell for that one. All right, cool. But here's the thing. You can truly like somebody. You can truly admire somebody. That doesn't necessarily mean that you look up to them. See, the difference between for me, the difference between liking somebody or admiring somebody and looking up to somebody is looking up to somebody means that they are doing things that you would do, or that you would like to do, or things that you think are good to do and are good examples. So I can like an R. Kelly, I can like a Diddy, but I don't look up to them because they are not examples of what I want to be or what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even in their craft, I never wanted to be an R. Kelly. I think he's the greatest. I do. I think he's the greatest R&B singer of our generation. Easily. I don't even think it's close with anybody else.
All right.
But I wouldn't want to be him. You know what I mean? He's not my example of a man. He's not my example of a decent person. He's not my example of someone who's respectable. He's just not. You know what I'm saying? But I think he's a great artist. But I felt the same way about Michael Jackson. I thought Michael Jackson was a hell of a star, but I didn't want to be like him. Nothing in any way. You know what I mean? In any way. So when I talk about when I talk about looking up to somebody, I'm talking about like that's what I want to do, or that's who I want to be, or that's what I want to be. That's it right there. You understand? Like I see myself in them, or him, or even a her. You know what I'm saying? Like I never met Whitney Houston, but for some reason I felt like she was a sister. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I liked what I like that. I would want to do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? That her talent level, the way she carried herself. Besides, before the whole crack thing, even with the whole crack thing, I think I looked up to her so much. It made me not want to believe that shit. I was like,
I think I liked her more when she was on crack because I was like, oh, this chick like
now she real, huh?
I know this kind of chick. You know, like
yeah.
Like, hey,
no, I can understand that. I can understand that, but I wasn't in denial of her drug use. I just did for some reason. I just didn't think it was crack. But then when she confirmed it, it was like, okay, crack though? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But I never stopped looking up to her because
Yeah.
I felt like I knew she was bigger and better than what where the drug had taken her. So I really was pulling for her to get back. So that's what I'm saying when I say I look up to somebody. This is more than just liking somebody or admiring somebody. You know, when you look up to somebody, like that's your guy or that's your girl. I want to be that. Not necessarily them, but what they're doing is what I would like to do. I think that's a good thing to do.
Hey, one of my homies told me a long time ago. He was like, he had this thing, right? It's a common thing or whatever, you know. But he was like, heavy is the cross on your back or whatever. Heavy is the burden, heavy is the cross or whatever.
Heavy is the crown.
When you get to that kind of like stratosphere, like a Wheaton Houston or like a Mike Tyson or like a whatever, you know, like what do you do? Like, I mean, I don't know. How would you handle it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. How would I handle it? You know, like I don't know. You know, you can't really predict that. That kind of unpredictability is real, and you know, that's where, like, you know, and when you're older or whatever, like, you have empathy. Mm-hmm. You're like, you know, I understand, like, that young lady, you know, I look at Whitney Houston, I see, I'm older than her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she passed. I'm older than her. And I look at her, like, as a young lady, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, like, what she was dealing with and her positions with, like, all the fucking record mafiosa, you know, and all that fucking shit she was dealing with. I don't know this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a heavy burden, you know?
Yeah. It is. So yeah, like you can look up to somebody that you don't know, but it goes into a different category in a different realm when you forget that somebody is a human being. When you make them make them superhuman or a superhero or whatever, that's when we get that level of fanaticism. That's troubling because that's how people get used. That's how pastors, you know, all kinds of prosperity pastors and stuff like that take advantage of people. You know what I mean? Because they've made them superhuman, and they're not superhuman. They're just human. And if we could just take the good parts of them and use them for ourselves and teach that to our younger folks, everything will work out. But what happens is we make them larger than life, and now and then they go unchecked and they run amok. You know, they just fuck up everything. And then now, and you might get to the point where you don't look up to them anymore. And you might be ashamed of yourself forever looking up to them in the first place.
Hey, there's like a really old song, and I want to say it's like Judy Garland, but I don't know for sure. And it's called "Send in the Cloud," and it's like kind of like, to me, that song was like talking about how, like, you know, the famous person or whatever, like the celebrity or whatever, but they're like the clown, and it's sort of like and there's a lot of people fucking feeding off the fucking clown, you know, like a lot of people feeding off the fucking clown.
Yo, your audio is like going in and out. It's like doing this weird thing.
Sorry, brother.
You know? All right.
Sorry, brother, son.
You good?
All right. I know. My bad.
Yeah. But yeah, man, you know, I just wanted to clarify a little bit of what I mean by looking up to somebody versus admiring somebody, you know, because we can admire a whole lot of people. That doesn't necessarily mean that we feel a connection to them. And I think that when you look up to somebody, you normally feel some kind of connection to them. Would y'all agree with that?
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah.
Okay.
Somewhat. like I said, but the first two I brought up, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, I carry a lot of that with me.
Okay.
I don't see color until color don't see me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't see racism until racism comes at me.
Okay.
So I don't really, I mean, just like I know white assholes, just like I know black assholes. Asshole has no color, by the way. Asshole has no color.
That's not really true, but
no religion.
But I don't know. I've watched a lot of pornos, and assholes definitely have a color.
Son.
I'm
just saying.
Like
and they differ. They differ.
You look at people tip assholes.
Just saying.
You're fools.
According to the video, asshole has a color. You know what I mean? I don't know if it has a race, but it definitely has a color.
Hey, I don't know. We're talking about, well, let's break it down. Metaphorically.
Oh.
The human beings, quote unquote.
Oh, okay. That. Yeah.
It's a visual assholes.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
I know.
For informational purposes.
Yeah, but it's just amazing that people don't understand. You know, I mean, certain things, when things don't come your, I look up to people. When I look up to you and I admire you for the individual you are, I do that, and I can do that and become overprotective. Right? You know what I mean? And I can be there for you. Like if I got, you got. If I don't got, I know you got me. You know what I mean? I think that it becomes. It's just one of my brothers that I grew up with, and I think about him every day. My boy John Preston. You know, and when I grew up on 20th and Carpenter, you know, all my boys that I grew up with are my brothers, and you don't have to be my blood to be my brothers.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know, so when growing up with them, you know, Pisces, his birthday on the 18th of March, mine on the 13th of March. The last time I talked to John, he was just coming from playing basketball against Alonzo Mourning. Big time ball player. Played at John Newman, played college ball, everything. The last time I heard about John, he was getting killed over a basketball game. So I learned so much from him because what I learned from him is that he was so focused on wanting to make it to the NBA. He had a dream that he wanted to do. He was intelligent. He was smart. I hated him because he was handsome as shit. Almost model-like. I was like, I hate your punk ass. We used to joke. Almost model-like, you know. And it got to the point where when this happened, it takes away. It's like, like the movie Raisin in the Sun at the end when it said a dream deferred. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it takes away from the fact that he had a fiance that he never had an opportunity to marry, or he had never had an opportunity to give his mother grandchildren. Yeah. So that legacy he left a lot of that legacy within me because that's my brother. You know what I mean? So I looked up to him because of how strong he was, how intelligent he was, how great of a basketball player he was. You know, so it's certain people that, and this is part of my age bracket. Like I just told you, I look up to you, son. Yeah. So I mean, you look up to people, and when you look up to people, man, and that's your brother. I don't look at people. I don't look at my friends as my friends. When I look up to you, I look at you as my brother. I look at you as my blood now. Because if I put you in a category as that, I want you to respect me the same way I respect you, and we be there for one another like that. And I can look up to you even more. It's a different avenue.
Okay, so let me ask y'all this. So if you could group a few reasons of why people stop looking up to people. And you can make them your personal reasons. Like from the time that you were a kid and you looked up to certain people, what would make you stop looking up to them? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you don't like them anymore, but it could be that too. But what could make you stop looking up to somebody?
I think at some point in time, like you get to a point in your life where you're like, you start to like the wall breaks or whatever. Like the wall breaks down, and you're like, these are just regular folks, and I'm just a regular person, And now I'm like, it's hard to look up to somebody because like you're just seeing people like as people,
Mm-hmm.
That's in my head, anyways. Maybe I think that is when, like, I personally, I don't know.
Well, how I look at it is, what makes me stop looking up to you is when I see the changes, the negative changes within yourself, not just towards me, but towards other people.
Okay.
Like how you conduct yourself. You know what I mean? If you were respectful, understanding, and you was a good listener, you knew how to guide people, and you was a teacher, and then you changed and you became, like I said, an asshole.
Okay.
Then that's what happens. Once you do that, like I said to you, like I talk to son every day, damn man. And when, like I told you, like when I talk about my middle brother and how much I love him and how much I put him on a pedestal and this, that, and the other, and then when I did the party and how he did me, and he doesn't have an understanding that he's wrong about it, it then it makes me look at everything else that he has done. Like for instance, if I'm calling you and I'm checking on you, you can't call and check on me. So when I'm in the hospital, I say, well, I just had surgery a couple weeks ago. Then why you ain't calling and tell me? No, why you ain't calling and check up on me? Period. That's what I'm saying. There's a lack of respect on that level, because if you can, it doesn't take long to make a phone call. You can do that in a half a second.
Mm-hmm.
So if I put you up here on a pedestal and I look up to you so much and I'm calling, checking on you, and if you need me, I'm there, and if anybody bothers you, I'm there, and this, that, and blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as something happened to me and I tell you what's going on, you say, well, why you ain't calling, tell me? I should have to call and tell you. Well, you can just call and check on me.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't have to. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the respect level, when I start seeing those small changes that keeps growing and growing and growing, I have to fall back from the person that I look up to. Still going to show you the respect, but I'm not going to sit back and condone the ignorance in a way that you come off as not as just me, but other people. But I got to be apologetic for you. If I got to be apologetic for you to other people, that's some sad shit.
Okay, for me,
for me, like the question, like when son asks these questions, sometimes you're like, you don't always have an answer for it, and I'm like, why don't I fucking have an answer for this question, Like I think like I could take like my papa, my abuelo, or but like, why don't I really don't have an answer? And I'm like, what does that say about me? Like maybe I'm jaded. I'm jaded.
No, you're not jaded. It's just the fact that a lot of people in your life showed you a better way of living, and a lot of people in your life didn't show you a lot of letdown. So you don't have an answer to the question because you didn't see that lot of letdown. You see the positivity and you excluded that negativity. You see, so when you never experienced, you might experience minimum hurt, but if you didn't experience a lot of hurt, sometimes that little hurt is swept underneath the carpet, and you see so much good in that person you look up to that you can exclude that little bit that you swept underneath the carpet.
I'll say this for me.
Okay.
The thing that would the thing that would make me stop looking up to somebody, if I looked up to you as a kid, the only thing or things that would make me stop looking up to you as an adult is if I didn't feel like you should be looked up to as a kid anymore by a kid. You understand what I'm saying? So like, more than likely, if I looked up to you as a kid, is because you were doing things that I thought as a kid should be being done. You know,
idealistic.
Even in my immaturity and all of that, I might have been thinking like, yo, this is good shit. You know, this is something to be admired. This is something to be copied. This is something to be duplicated. This is something to be set as an example for others. So as I grow and I start to learn more and I start to mature more into adulthood, more than likely, if I don't look up to you anymore, it's because I realize that either as a kid, maybe I shouldn't have looked up to you because maybe I was looking up to you for all the wrong reasons, because you were setting all the wrong examples. And I probably wouldn't look up to you as an adult because I figured a kid should be doing nothing like what you're doing. You're not setting any kind of example. Like if I was a kid, I certainly wasn't looking up to you because you smoked weed all the time, or because you took drugs all the time, or because you were rude and obnoxious and didn't give a fuck about anybody, and you were selfish and reckless. And that's not why I looked up to you. I wasn't attracted to that kind of shit. But we have to remember that there are people who are, you know, raised in that environment, and they are taught to admire and look up to people who are like that. And where does that get people? Where does that get people? In jail, in trouble with the legal system, dead, in negative situations constantly. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, if I looked up to you as a kid, the only way I wouldn't look up to you as an adult is because I don't think that it would be good for a kid to do anything that you do. You know? So that's the deal breaker to me. Like I expect a person to keep living their lives. You don't have to live your life for the approval of anybody. But if you thorough, you thorough. If you decent, you're decent. You know what I mean? If you're worthy of respect and admiration, then that's what you are, and you're going to get it. But if you're not, then I'm not going to hold on to the memory of looking up to you. Like motherfucker, I had to grow, and so did you. Like if I'm 6 and you're 16, I can't stay 6 and you can't stay 16. So as I become 16 and you become 26, well, we're going to take a look at this whole thing. What am I doing now? And what are you doing? Hopefully we're both doing better and going in the direction that we should be. But if I get to 16 and I'm looking for direction and you are in all of the wrong directions in your life, it's going to have an effect on whether I can look up to you anymore. I might still like you. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I look up to you anymore. You might not be someone who is worthy of being looked up to anymore. That candle might have blown out.
That's the truth.
So yeah.
That's the truth.
Yo, both of y'all audio sounding all crazy. Is it the app?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. That's Propusio. Propusio audio is all crazy. What do you use? Are you talking directly into the phone, Propusio, or are you using Bluetooth or something like that? Cause now, look, he sounded like R2D2. Yo, we can't understand a word you saying now.
My bad. Hey.
God damn.
Hey, no one ever accused me of like being like head of the class for audio visual whatever, you know.
You know, like, yo, don't pin the mic on him. Don't put it in his hand. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man.
Like the Beastie Boys.
I know.
Hey,
I don't know what that shit was.
intergalactic, planetary.
I don't know, brother. Son. I don't know.
Cool, but all right. So, Papucio, do you have kids?
No.
Okay. All right. So, Troy, you have kids, and I have kids. So, when you observe your kids growing up, and you see who they looked up to, besides yourself and their mother, what have you seen anything with them that was cause for concern as far as who you knew they looked up to?
Well, my oldest, I know his uncle, as he was growing up, I always tried to explain to my oldest, don't grow up like your uncle. Because, his uncle had a lot of issues. So his uncle right now is locked up for life without the possibility. So I always tried to guide him in the right direction and try to teach him, look, don't follow this, be a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, when you see senior citizens walking down the street, speak to them. If you see them walking down the street and they got the shopping cart and they get ready to take food in the house, help them. So I try to guide them, and I said, like I told you before, when I introduce my children to individuals, that's your aunt, that's your uncle. Because I want them to show that type of respect to people.
Mm-hmm.
So when you turn back around and you start seeing that they look up to people on the street. They like being around. They look up to individuals in the rap songs.
Okay. And they look up to them, not just like them, but they look up to them.
They look up to them.
Okay.
They look up to the fast money and the fast cars instead of understanding. You got to work.
Now, wait a minute. What makes you say that they look up to that?
Well, what makes you say? Now I gotta give insight on my oldest son. My oldest son, me personally, I'm 55. I never smoke weed. Only drugs I do is prescription drugs that I have to take for whatever illnesses I might have, or like I'm diabetic and stuff. I've never done that. I've never been locked up. Might have been in a sweatbox, but I've never been nowhere near upstate. I've never been up. I don't know what I don't know what none of them jailhouses look like.
Okay.
Now my oldest son, he's been locked up. He's had an addiction to Xanax and Percocets, and he's committed robberies to try to get money to buy drugs, and he's done all that.
Okay.
And he's never been a leader. He's been a follower. Because if you led, you would never put yourself in predicaments like that, especially when I'm teaching you what not to do. So you're following the trends of what you hear in a rap song, or you following the street bulls, or your friends doing it, so let me do it too, let me try it. Instead of being a pillar in a community and growing up with a sense of, this is my dad, this is my mom, I gotta show them, if I'm on the street doing what I'm doing, it's showing them a lack of respect. You gotta respect, if you don't respect yourself, you damn sure disrespecting your parents and your grandparents. So that's why I know that there was no looking up to. You can see the changes in your children about which way they want to go, how they follow, how they lead, how they don't want to be leaders.
So that showed that they looked up to somebody, though?
Yeah. I think it's like this. It showed me that if you looked up to me, you will follow my lead. You will have an understanding that you don't need a drug to guide you or to put you in a position to be fulfilled. You would have made sure you got your diploma. You would put yourself in predicaments where as though you're getting locked up and missing almost a whole decade.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, who are you looking up to? What persona are you trying to follow to be who you want to be? You're being the negative version of who you should be. That's who you want to be.
Okay.
You want to be the...
No, I understand that they may be in the streets or, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they look up to somebody who is in the streets, or that doesn't necessarily mean that they look up to one of these rappers and things like that. Just because you do some of the things that those cats do, that may just be a generational thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that they look up to them.
That's true. But us being parents, because you're a parent too. Us being parents, we have to. Sometimes you might overthink, or you might think of certain things that can put perspectives on why your child does certain things.
No. I understand that. Okay.
My child, son, I know my oldest son is not a leader.
Okay.
And I know that he will follow behind other people. And he will look up to people that he shouldn't look up to. I know that.
Okay.
So if it was another way, if I could see something different, I would sit back here and I would say something different. But I just know how he is.
No, I get that. But just remember that leaders can lead people in the wrong direction.
And there you go. And that's what I'm saying.
So
that's what I'm saying. So the leaders he followed behind and the leaders that he wanted to be part of led him in the wrong direction. And instead of listening to what's right, you listen to what was wrong.
But did you do you? What I was asking was, do you know any specific examples or people that they looked up to?
No, I don't know the specifics.
Okay, because when we were growing up,
everything to me, we're not around our children every day, all the time. Mm-hmm. Especially as they start getting into the 15, 16, 17, 18 years. Let's say the 18-year-olds. So when they start making decisions to do what they do, you don't know nothing until you catch them off guard.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, caught them, spoke up on them. It's up to you to make them changes. And one thing about it is that, other than the fact that, he's doing what he needs to do to be a great father and a great husband now. Well, other than that, he's cool. He's cool on his side.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. No,
but I understand where you're coming from. I don't know where it came from. I don't know where it derived from.
Okay, what I was going to say is, like, when we were growing up, you could kind of see who we looked up to. You know what I mean? Like, that, whether you had like a Run DMC poster or you was out there, with the hustlers on the block. There were a lot of different examples that we could point to where you could tell who we looked up to. You know what I mean? You could kind of track it.
Who did you look up to?
As a young person? Okay, let me think.
Other than your god brother.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. As As a teenager, I looked up to certain rappers like LL and Chuck D. You know, because I like the conscious shit and the militant type of shit. But the reason that I looked up to LL was because he was really good at what he did. But I saw an interview before when, you know, he couldn't have been more than 16 or 17 years old. And he said, I wanted to be a rapper when I grew up. That was amazing to me. Like, you know, just knowing what you want to be at such a young age and actually doing it and being at the top of your game. You know what I mean? So I really I looked up to him in that regard. Not just because he was a rapper and, you know, the girls and all that kind of shit, but like, there's something very alluring with me with people who are sure about what they want and passionate and go for it. Like people who follow through on what they say they want. And, you know, I've always admired that, but not just admired it with some people. Those are the types of people that I look up to, but they have to be doing it in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? So, let me see. Let me think of when I read the autobiography of Malcolm X. I really thought he was fascinating, but I can't say I looked up to him, but maybe I can. You know what I mean? Because like I'm stuck on when I say that I looked up to somebody, like they embodied what I wanted to be, or they were doing what I wanted to do. So that's why I can't really say like a Malcolm X or Martin Luther King. Like I admired what they did, but they weren't doing exactly what I wanted to do. Malcolm X more so than Martin Luther King. I had a lot to learn with Martin Luther King, more than just, you know, what the media had given us, the whole "I have a dream" shit, and the taglines, the you know, judge a man by the con. Like later on, what Martin Luther King was really about, and what direction he was really trying to take us. And after I learned that, I was like, now I really look up to him. You know what I mean? But that shit that they was giving us about what his movement was about, that shit was watered down as fuck. You know what I mean? But he was acknowledging that we were indigenous and that we would do reparations and shit. That's why he got killed. He wasn't killed because of none of that other shit. You know what I mean? That shit wasn't really a threat. Because they wasn't hurting nobody, you know. But when you start talking about fucking up the money, the government was like, yo, it's time, he got to go. He already got a hell of a following. We don't need him waking people up in that direction. Like, ooh, no. You know, so
let me say it for you. No.
Like he had to go. So in my 20s and shit like that, it's hard to really say who I looked up to. But yeah, and my big brother as a teenager, yeah, I can't forget that. My big brother, he put me up on game a lot, and I really looked up to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really looked up to him. So where I'll go with it is, most of the people that I looked up to back then, I still look up to. Some people have fallen off for me. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that they're not worthy or they're not decent or thorough or none of that. But for me, they have fallen off as far as the me looking up to them because they just they don't have it for me to look up to them anymore. They're not doing what I want them to, what I would like to do, or what I think is something that should be done.
And also when you get to that age, like you're like, it's less impressive when you hit the same benchmark. You're like, oh, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Like the glory kind of the glory phase, if you will, the glory phase.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. People don't play out in my eyes. It's not about that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But when you're no longer doing the right things, I can't look up to you. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have anything to do with whether I still like you or not. But I don't look up to you anymore. Like, wait a minute now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not doing that.
Yeah,
we not doing that.
Yeah.
Even my man, my best friend who died last year. That was my man, but I didn't look up to him. You know what I mean? I didn't look up to him. I never really thought of this before. Like I said, that was my man, but I never looked up to him. He wasn't doing what I would do. He wasn't doing what I wanted to do. And, the one time that, he was, he gave my teenage brother, my young teenage brother, weed to smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing that. You can't do that. You know what I mean? You can't do that with my baby brother. I don't give a fuck.
Not even just that. Not even just that. Honestly, that would have ended. Some people would have ended their friendship on that, or you'd have whooped your ass because that's something that you don't do.
Well, the thing is, my baby brother was already smoking weed and selling it.
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't justify. It don't justify shit.
But you don't put, no.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but he didn't get that from me. You understand what I'm saying? So he can't, if he didn't get that from me or none of my other brothers, he can't get it from you. I understand that you was just being that old head, like, but nah, ain't nobody do that for you. You didn't grow up with that shit. So, well, anyway, I'm just saying that's why that's one of the reasons I couldn't look up to him, but that he was still my man. You know what I'm saying?
He crossed the line. He's still your brother, but he crossed the line.
He crossed the line, plus he didn't, listen, man, I don't want to talk down on the dead, and that's my man. But, you have to exercise self-control for me to look up to you. You have to have discipline for me to look up to you. You have to have it. There ain't no way around it for me. There ain't no way around that. You know what I'm saying? Just like I have to exercise self-control daily. Am I the best at it? No. But y'all see how I'm here every night. I'm regimented. You know what I'm saying? Every fucking day since October 1st of 2014. Every fucking day. The days that I've missed since 2014, we talking about 11 years, are under 50 days. I'm committed to what I do. You know what I mean? I'm not fucking around. This is not just something I play around with. And that's whether it pays me or not, and it don't. All right, let's go to these
Before you say something, son, I want to commend Dimple D's and how she just, when we turned in the room, she just came and said hi and jumped right in the room. What she said.
Yeah, I peeped it, you know what I mean?
You peeped that shit. She came and said hi and jumped right in the room.
Like, you don't understand, you know what I mean? Dimple's always, she's always good for a paragraph.
What I missed, son, It's like that necklace. You remember back when you would like, hey, you know, like when you would do that thing where you know, wear the necklace. Like, I know you stopped doing that for a while, but
I'm gonna go back to it. Yeah, I got them right here. I got them right here.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? We ain't done. We ain't done.
Yeah.
cowbone shells or whatever.
Right. All right, look, let's do these. Let's do the poll question.
I remember that shit.
Let's do the poll question. Then we do these birthday shout outs and get on up out of here. All right. Are the people you used to look up to as a child the same people you still look up to? Out of 22 votes, 9% said yes, the same people and more people. 50% says some of them are who you still look up to, but not all of them. Okay. 9% said no, none of the same people, and 32% says I've never looked up to anyone. Wow. Okay. I wonder if I
think that's very real though. Yeah.
It is. Out of 22 people, it's hard to get a real, gauge of. Like I would have loved to see like maybe 30 more people or 50 more people so we could get like a really good pool of opinions and see what it's hitting for. But the reason I put I've never looked up to anyone because I know that there are people who may not or may not have, maybe not in the way that we're talking about. But look, let me let y'all go. Let me do these birthday shout outs and get on up out of here.
All right.
I want to thank both of y'all.
Thank you for having me on, Brother Son.
Yo, I appreciate you.
Having me on, Brother Son.
Corey said yes.
Always.
You too, brother.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Salute us, okay?
No doubt. All right, we have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious December 30th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Nicole Sills Thomas, and also Valerie Roberts, and Portia Philpott, and last but not least, my man going all the way back to the 1982, Eric Wolf. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all, and I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious December 30th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud, just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out, rock on and do the damn rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, who you look up to is a part of you. You know, whether it was a long time ago or whether it's still this very day, the people who you looked up to have defined your character of old and probably developed you into the character that you are now. You know, admiring somebody is one thing. Liking somebody is another thing. Loving somebody is a different thing. But looking up to somebody, that's the highest honor that you can probably show somebody. Because looking up to somebody kind of embodies liking, loving, admiring. And it pretty much tells you that, listen, not only do I like what you do, I want to do it too. Even if I'm not doing it, I think it's the right thing to do. One thing I didn't cover on this show was whether you can dislike somebody and still look up to them. Maybe we'll address that on another show, on another day, at another time, another place. But hopefully we do it together. I want to thank all of y'all for coming through. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Papucio. Thank you, Troy. I appreciate y'all. You already know. And everybody in the chat, all the regulars, y'all know what it is. Everybody who takes the time out of their day in the middle of the night to come through here and get it popping with us. It doesn't go unnoticed, and it absolutely doesn't go unappreciated or taken for granted. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, and love y'all right back to life. We will, I don't know. We gonna see if we gonna come back tomorrow night. We'll see. See how the stars align, you know what I mean? But we will be here throughout 2026. Just like we were in 2025, 2024, 2023. We ain't stopping until we can't do it no more. I want y'all to have a good night. If I don't speak to y'all before 2026 happens, y'all have a happy, safe New Year. More than anything else, please have a safe New Year, because I want to see all of y'all getting prosperity, love, and comfortable in 2026. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Hope y'all enjoy listening to the show as much as I enjoy broadcasting it, and I holler back at y'all. Peace.